Hey yo, it's Ty Rich, and you tune into Bite the Podcast. And our guest today is LaCory from Designer Pups of Alabama. Before we get into this dope interview, I need all my watchers to comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. How you doing today, LaCory?
I'm good. What about you?
I'm great. I'm great. Thanks for allowing me to bring you onto the platform today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, we wanted to do something different this month. We interviewing and dropping all female breeders, giving all women breeders they flowers for the month of May to honor Mother's Day. Can you tell the people where you from?
I am located in Madison, Alabama.
Okay. How did you become a dog breeder?
Oh, becoming a dog breeder was an accident. I come from generations of farmers. My dad, granddad, they all, raised cows, horses, pigs. I grew up raising cows and horses with my dad. I also used to show cows when I was younger. So that's, what I grew up around, that type of farming. We always had dogs, but they were just pets. Um, we had a German Shepherd here in my house. I have a daughter, she's 15 years old. A few years ago, we found out she was allergic to dogs. Um, the doctor basically told us that we had to get rid of our German Shepherd. He is now residing in Town Creek, Alabama with my parents, and he recommended a poodle. He named the poodle as being one of the dogs that's hyperallergenic that she may not have a reaction to. So we got our first one in around 2019, I think. And we just decided to breed her one time, so we thought, and I bred her the one time, and I just got so many people just off of my personal Facebook reaching out to me about a puppy. Yeah, so my daughter's pediatrician recommended that we try out a poodle. We got our first poodle, Fendi, in 2019, and she didn't have any reactions to it. Let me back to the process of trying to find the poodle. I had such a hard time finding a small poodle. There were a lot of breeders in my area that had the standard size, but I could not find a miniature in my area for months. I ended up going out of state to get Fendi from the state of Tennessee. And like I said, just after getting her and deciding to breed her that one time, just sitting back thinking about, the process, I saw there was a need for it. There are a lot of people who have dog allergies, including my daughter. So that's kind of how it happened, just getting the first dog for my daughter and just going from there.
So because you started off with the poodle, I know when I looked on your Instagram, I noticed there was a lot of talks around the golden doodles that you produce.
Yes.
So what what brought in the the golden retrievers into the I guess equation?
Well, my sister owned a golden doodle. I started out with my poodle. She bought a golden doodle for her family. And just from being around both breeds, both are very intelligent, both are very easy to train. Neither had like major behavior issues or anything like that. So our family pretty much just fell in love with the two breeds. Like I said, my foundation dog was Fendi, who is a miniature poodle. So that's still the foundation of my program. I think that's how I'm able to have such high quality doodles. Is my foundation poodles are great as well. Um, I got a lot of people also just reaching out to me for the golden doodle because for some reason the people in the area or people of today are all obsessed with this designer breed, the doodles, more so than the poodle. Um, a lot of them, a lot of them basically state they don't like the long snout of the poodle, which when I give them all baths, they pretty much all look the same in the face. It's just a haircut. I tell a lot of people it's just a haircut. You can make a poodle look just like a doodle, but a lot of people just prefer the doodle. So that's how I got into doing the golden doodles. I added the golden doodles later in my program, like maybe a year after the poodles.
So is this something that you and your sister do together because she has the doodle, or did is this you do this by
No,
yourself?
I have my own and she have her own.
Okay, okay. Um, with the my father owned a golden doodle, and it's a big dog. But I know it's like different. Is it with like F1s and F2s and all that type of stuff? Can you
Yes.
explain what that is?
Yeah, so F1 is when you take a pure breed golden retriever, pure breed poodle, put them together, you make a F1 that's 50-50. You can get into the F1Bs where you could take a F1 and breed it to either a poodle or back to a golden retriever to make a F1B. Most of my dogs in my house are F1BB. I double up on the poodle because, like I mentioned before, my daughter has a dog allergy. Golden retriever shed, golden retrievers are not hyperallergenic. One of the things that I try to make sure that I do in my program is keep my dogs heavy on the poodle side, because the main reason for me getting into it was to cater to the people who, had the dog allergies, who were looking for dogs that didn't shed. So I can honestly say with my golden doodles don't shed. I haven't had anyone come back to me and say that any of my doodles shedded or that any of them had a reaction to the golden doodle.
So in your program, because you have golden doodles and poodles, which ones like would you say like sell the most, that you move the most, or people inquire about the most?
Mm, I would say that it's been about 50-50 so far. Because pretty much they look almost identical. Mine do. But here lately, since I've been playing in the whole DNA thing, I got into the DNA, just trying to match up different DNAs to create different things that I see in other breeds. I figured out how to incorporate the Merle into my program. Now I got 10 points in my program. With my doodles, I play in all colors. Now my poodles, I keep them strict the standard AKC colors. But with my doodles, they're a designer breed. You can do anything with them. So I'm having fun over here with my doodles, just creating different colors, trying to stay ahead of the wave. I've had a few Frenchie and Bully breeders reach out and actually buy doodles from me to add to their program. Once I started producing the Merles and the Phantom Merles, the Tries, all of that. So I have all of those colors in my doodles versus I keep my poodles the basic red, chocolate, apricot, black, just the basic colors of the AKC.
Yeah, that was one thing that definitely caught my eye when I seen one on your page. I said, "What, a Merle, a doodle? What?" I said, "Okay, yeah, she owned or something." So I was like, "Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
I got I got my
dope."
keeper. She out with me now. Where is she? She's a Phantom Merle. Here she go. Can I grab her real quick?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hold on. Come here, Barkin. 1 second. She laying here under the table. This is my keeper from my last micro litter, Birkin. And as you can see, she's a Merle and she's a micro size. I breed all cut. Oh, you're in my hair. There she go. You see her tan
It's
point?
sweet, right? So
Yeah.
Merle try doodle micro
Yes, micro. She should mature probably around 12 pounds based off her parent sizes. But
12 pound.
her
Wow.
mom is an apricot with white marking, mini golden doodle, and her dad is a Merle, a black Merle. But both of them carried the DNA to be able to produce her. So this is the first in my program right here. I actually have never seen a tri-Merle golden doodle. I've seen them in Berna doodles, Aussie doodles, stuff like that, but I've never seen it in a golden doodle.
Yeah, she looks real good. So
Thank you.
when these dogs produce, I breed French bulldogs, and we got to
Mhm.
go through the C sections and all that type of stuff. Do these dogs birth naturally?
I've never had to do a C-section. I've heard of some breeders having to do it, but for the most part, they breed natural. As long as they're close enough in size for the male to reach the female, they birth natural. They whelp, they self whelp. It's been a great experience dealing with this breed, like for sure. Because a
Right.
lot of people ask me, why don't you get into the Frenchies? And I
It's
just can't see myself doing it right now. Because with
Yeah,
these, like I said, I can just put them in the floor and they gonna go and breed. They know what to do.
right.
So I'm not spending that money doing the AIs and all that. Now, if I do use a male that's too small for the female, because I always make sure that my males are smaller than my female to make sure that the puppies aren't too large for her to pass. So that may
Mhm.
be one of the reasons why also I haven't had to do a C-section yet, because like I said, I make sure the males are smaller. Um, like I said, it's been sweet so far.
Yeah, how many was in her litter?
8.
Sheesh. So these dogs have
Yeah,
large. Do they have large litters normally?
some of that is genetic. A lot of it is also timing. With the breedings, all of that. This mom, this was her third litter, and she had 7 the first time, 8 the second, 8 the third.
So do you still, even though they do a lot of the stuff naturally, you still do progesterone and all that type of stuff?
It just depends. If it's a male and a female that are around the same size, I have 4 active studs here. I haven't used an outside stud in over 2 years. I have acquired the colors and sizes and DNA types that I wanted for my program, so I don't go outside of my program now. I haven't in 2 years, so I just put them together if they're able to breed naturally, but if they're not, I do the progesterone. I do, get the AI done, all of that to make sure that the pregnancy takes place.
Okay, okay. What do you enjoy most about breeding?
Oh, my favorite part of the process is the birth, because they do deliver right here at home. Me and my daughter, that's my right hand right there. I've taught her how to do everything that I know how to do. Just being here, being excited just to see what's being produced. Because like in this litter right here, out of the 8, it was like 2 Phantom Merles, a black and tan try. Um, there were, let me see, like 3 apricot, just the different colors. Like I said, I like playing in DNA. I DNA test all of my foundation dogs so that I know first off what genetic issues they may have. I don't want to be passing down any genetic issues to my puppies that I'm selling to families. If I do catch a parent that does carry 2 copies, I won't breed them of anything. If they have 1 copy, I make sure that I pair them with a stud that doesn't have that, that's clear, to make sure I'm not passing down, any genetic issues. And also just my next favorite part I would say is delivery day. Just being able to deliver my finished product to the families and just seeing the reactions on the kids' face, on the parents' face, even especially the dads, because most people don't think of guys as being doodle lovers, but if you look on my page, you see here lately I'm selling to a lot of men.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah,
I seen a lot of guys that's in the bully world, big muscular
yeah.
guys standing up there with their dog on. Yeah, yeah. No, it's funny because when
Yeah,
my dad,
two,
go
huh?
ahead.
I was about to say 2 of them FaceTime me. They were together. They both actually live in Oklahoma. They FaceTime me last week and they were at like this little outdoor lounge and they both had their doodles with them that I sold them. And it was like 10 girls surrounding them, just rubbing the puppies. I said, oh, so y'all got y'all some chick magnets.
A chick magnet. Yeah,
Right, chick magnets.
yeah, when my dad got his, I was like, man, why you get that dog? But man, the dog is so smart. Like,
Yes,
man, he loved the
yes.
dog. I can't remember where he purchased the dog. I think it was I'm from Virginia, but I think it was in Northern
Hmm.
Virginia or either in Pennsylvania. And
Okay.
it's funny because since I've been breeding Frenchies, he been thinking about getting into the doodles. He was like, man, I've been thinking about
Hmm.
breeding. I was like, man, I said, go for it, try it. He was like, man, I
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I've been thinking about doing it. So he's gonna definitely love this episode, especially when I can't wait to get
yeah.
off and call him and be like, hey man, look, I interviewed a breeder that got some crazy golden doodles, and I'm gonna send him your Instagram. So,
I
um,
appreciate that. Tell him for his dog number 2, hit me up.
what
Hit
set
me
your
up.
breeding?
I got him.
What set your breeding program apart from others that breed the dogs, the breeds that you breed?
In my opinion, I try to do for people what I want done for me. In the process of me getting started, I bought a lot of dogs from a lot of breeders who did things differently. I took the things that I liked and I took the things that I didn't like and I incorporated it into my program. One thing that sets my program apart is I try to give you like an inside look. Like the people that buy puppies from me or, adopt, get puppies from me, I allow them one FaceTime call a week. I create a private chat for just the families in that litter. So just say it was 8 in this litter. I kept her, so exclude me. I put all of them in a chat together. And almost every day, every other day, I'm shooting pictures, videos, just randomly because I interact with my dogs every day. My daughter interact with my dogs every day. So we always, have them in the floor outside, just taking pictures, taking videos. So I'm constantly sending updates. So it's like they're able to see the puppy grow. I go live, I record the births. If I'm here and can, and able, if it's safe, I set the camera up how the camera is now. I let them watch, the puppies being born. And I think that that helps with them having a connection with the puppy even before they receive the puppy. Um, that's one thing. It's just having hands-on access to me. And like I said, I know what I'm breeding. All of my dogs are DNA and genetic tested. I can tell you what each one carries, the colors, all of that. So I think that's what sets me apart. It's just my just being open and allowing them the inside look and getting to know them. Like a lot of the people that I sold my first litter to 3 years ago, I only been breeding 3 years. So those people, they're like family now. They still reach out to me. I have my own Designer Pups Alabama family only group that you only get to join after you purchase and take home a puppy from me. So they're constantly sending updates, pictures, videos. If they have a question, they can type the question in the group. If I don't see it, someone in, our family network sees it that's been through it before already. They may answer. So it's like I create a family type vibe for my people. I'm there for the support, for the life of my puppy.
Do you still have the first dog, Fendi?
I do. I do. Fendi ain't going nowhere. That's my daughter's baby. She
Okay.
sleep in the room with my daughter. That's her child. Fendi thinks she's
Okay.
human.
Um.
She
So
don't even really like to play with the other dogs. She was the first one for a while. So
right. So she
after we
like
got the second one, Fendi looking like, who is this? So she kinda like Chanel. But when we got the next dog, I think the next one was Armani. She was like, "Oh no, too much." So
right.
Fendi, she pretty much stays in my daughter room. Like she'll come out just to go outside and use the restroom. But as far as wanting to play with the other dogs, no, Fendi thinks she's human. She's a
So you
great
said
mom. She loved puppies, but not the big ones.
right. So you said you then created like this whole family under the designer pups of Alabama. Have
Yeah.
anybody that you sold a puppy to that was not a breeder became a breeder since you have sold them a puppy?
Speaking of that, you let my secret out of the bag. I was not expecting that question. Okay. Yes. As my brand has expanded, we have puppies all the way in California, Colorado, Florida, New York. We have puppies all over the United States. The demand has increased. I'm only one person. And I also wanted to give other people the opportunity that I have. A lot of breeders say, "Oh, I'm not doing it for the money." That's a lie. Uh, you make good. If you do it right, you make good. You
Right.
ain't having all your litters dying and sick. If you take good care of your dogs, you do make good money. So I just think about the impact that this brand has had on my household. and I have expanded that to other people like me. So like during the process, if I feel a connection with a person, or if I think they may, do good at breeding, just from talking to them. Like I said, I talk to them at least once a week. At least some of them call like almost every other day, and I don't mind it. And I'll ask them, hey, have you ever thought about breeding? And my very first person that breeds under my program, she's actually in her early 20s. She was working a job. I don't know what she was making, but she now has two of my dogs, and from those two dogs, she's making a good income through breeding. I taught her how to breed, and she whelps the litters. I post the puppies on my page, and I sell them, and she gets a hefty percentage of that. So I do that with like 10 other people. I don't want too many people doing it, but it's a way for me to help create income for other people, as well, and teach them the game as well.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. It's it's a lot of people that do that. Well, not a lot. A couple
Mhm,
people in the bully community that does that
mhm.
franchising the
Yeah.
thing. But yeah, I just thought about that because when I sell my Frenchies, um, I don't have nobody that actually started breeding.
Mhm.
A lot of people that I sell to, I guess it's a lot of pet homes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought of that, so I said, let me ask that question.
That's
See,
who I mostly sell to. That my target audience are pet homes. Um, because just I found that dealing with breeders, especially poodle breeders, listen, I'm an oddball in the poodle world, and it can be vicious. Just
what?
saying that, when just trying to acquire my foundation dogs, I experienced breeders not even wanting to sell to me. Because I don't fit the stereotype of a typical poodle breeder. I'm a middle-aged black female. That's
Oh yeah,
typically
we can.
not
Hey,
what.
we can keep it raw and uncut. This bite the
Let's keep it
podcast.
raw and uncut. I had a few that wouldn't even sell to me starting out, that doubled back a year ago. Now they're trying to buy from me.
Right,
So
right.
yeah, so I like dealing with pet homes. A couple of the guys that you see on my page, they're actually big bully and Frenchie breeders. So I don't have to, mentor them. They know how, but I still would walk them through the program because it is a little different than dealing with the Frenchies and dealing with the bullies.
Right, right. Um, the puppies when you had the litters. How do you approach socializing your puppies?
I follow the badass breeder curriculum. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. Some breeders use puppy culture. I more so connected more with the badass breeder program. It kind of fit my personality a little more. From 3 days old, we start with like noise training, desensitizing them, from different loud noises, picking them up, touching them, making sure that they're used to human touch so that they're not timid and, jumpy. Like on 4th of July, a lot of the people that have my dogs, they always say, 4th of July, my dog laying here asleep, watching TV. They're not, scared. Like in my subdivision, I'll see people complaining on the site saying, y'all stop popping the fireworks. My dog's going crazy. My dogs be outside in the backyard, laid in the living room, sleep, playing. They're totally unfazed by it because of that training that I start doing with my dogs at 3 days old. I also start litter box training my dogs at 3 weeks old. That helps with the process of them being trained to go outside. I encourage all of my people to house train their dogs to go outside. I'm not a fan of puppy pads at all. All the ones I had used to tear them up.
Mhm.
So all of my dogs, they don't use the restroom in the house. They'll go sit at the back door, but I make sure I let them out several times a day so that they, can exercise, play. My daughter plays soccer. I'll choose one or two to take out to the soccer field with me. Once they're old enough and have had all their shots and stuff, I take them out to the soccer field, walk around my subdivision. My neighbors, they'll come over if they see me in the front with them, play with them. Like I said, my daughter, she's an animal lover. She spoil them rotten before they leave, so she have them every day. We take each one out and have individual one-on-one time with them. do the 10-point touch, touching paws, nose, ears, tail, just so that they get used to that human touch so that when they go to their families, they won't be jumpy or timid. Just in case they have like a toddler that may pull their tail or pull their ear, they're used to it because they're used to us, doing those type of things, with them on a daily basis and touching them.
Right, right. And I know throughout this interview we've been talking about two different breeds, so I guess this would be a two-part question. Um, can you describe the typical temperament of a poodle and a golden doodle or doodle? And is it a big difference?
For me it's a big difference because I live with both. So I see it. Well, first off, I'm gonna say this. A lot of people say, "Oh, don't get a doodle. They're wild, they're hyper." All of that has a lot to do with the temperament of your parents. And that's what I always tell people. You can't just go and say, "Oh, I'm getting a golden doodle from Jane or Paul or John," and expect it to be like LaCour's. It's not. All dogs are different, all parents are different. It's just like, with people. I make sure that, I if I have a dog that's a little bit hyper, I make sure I don't breed it with another dog that's like that. So all that goes back to the parent and having enough, foundation dogs and dogs in my house that I can, pair up to make sure that I'm creating mild tempered dogs. But as far as temperament, the difference in the poodles, I would say poodles are a lot more sassy, like bougie acting. They're not as playful. They both breeds are loving, but the poodles are a little more mean and sassy and kind of bougie acting versus the doodles are like really goofy and just cuddlers. You see how this dog just laying on me?
Right, right.
Yeah, they just want to cuddle. They're just goofy. If
So
if an intruder
so
come
the
in the
poodle
house,
wouldn't do that. The poodle wouldn't do what she doing.
kinda. The poodle will be sitting up looking around, just a little more they're just a little more alert. Like
Right.
if something was to go down and I had to choose between a poodle and a doodle defending me, the poodle hands down would defend me. The doodle probably would lick the intruder, just being honest.
Okay.
I had
Um.
one of my poodles, Chanel, I was I'm kind of a tomboy. Chanel, I was wrestling with a guy or whatever, just playing around. And when I
Right.
say she was finna eat him up, she don't play. Um, like a German Shepherd. Like she don't play poodles. Poodles don't play no games. Versus a doodle just probably would have sat there and just been looking. That's
Right.
just my experience with my dogs. My
Right.
my my doodles, they're big teddy bears, and the poodles don't play.
What steps do you take to ensure the health of your puppies?
I get them, like I said, I get them all health tested, DNA tested, health tested. If I do get a dog that does carry like one copy of something, I won't pair it with another dog that has it. My end goal is to have all dogs in my house that are totally clear. I have probably 75% right now that are totally clear. So like I said, all of my dogs, I know DNA, genetics, all of that. I know it. So.
How do you
And I
match
also make sure I take them to the vet regularly. That's important too. A lot of
facts?
people lose litters, have sick puppies born due to the parents not being healthy. It's important to take all of your dogs to the vet regularly, get their shots, get them dewormed, all of that to ensure that they have a smooth pregnancy, to ensure the puppies are, born healthy. That's important as well.
Facts. How do you match puppies with their new families? Do are you? I guess do you interview families before they purchase a puppy from you?
They have to fill out an application. And if the application is approved, I then write them back and tell them that the application is approved, and I talk to them on the phone, and we go from there.
Okay.
Everyone is not approved.
Okay. What advice would
If
you
I get
give?
a, huh?
Go ahead. If
What?
you get away.
Nothing.
Go
You
ahead.
can
Come
go
on.
on.
We gotta keep it raw, man.
Uh-uh.
Hey, let's keep it raw. Let's keep it raw.
If I get a bad vibe from a family, I would definitely turn them away when it comes to my dogs. And I have a 3-page contract.
Facts. No,
um,
I definitely
so
understand that.
I have an application process, and I also have a hefty contract for when they leave of do's and don'ts. I require all of my dogs to be returned to me if they can't keep them, they cannot, be taken to a shelter or anything like that. I require them all to live inside. You will not be approved if you say that my dog is going to live outside. Those are just some of the things. I prefer for people to have fenced-in backyards. If not, I just explain to them the importance of keeping them on a leash when outside, stuff like that. Because the
Right.
worst news to hear is that one of my dogs, gotten killed or, something
Right.
like that.
Right.
So
Right.
I definitely
Yeah.
have an application process and a strict
Right.
contract.
I don't have no application process, but I feel like when I tell somebody the price and they like, oh man, you can't take care of this dog anyway. That's how I be feeling.
Right, right.
Like, yeah,
Because
if
I
you
definitely explained to them, poodles and goldendoodles, one of my biggest expenses is the groomer.
oh I
Um,
bet. I bet.
yes, the groomer. Listen, to get a dog this size right here groomed, it started at like 75 in my area. It go up to like 105 depending on the size. But doing that every 6 weeks, I do it every 6 weeks because I like for my dogs all to stay looking show ready, when I take them out. Because when I take them out to the soccer field, that's me advertising.
Avatar,
People come
right.
up to me, oh, where'd you get the dog from? Or I always got on my little hoodie when I go out there too, advertising my brand.
Right.
So I got
Right.
to keep them looking good.
Right. Man, $60 man. Ooh-wee.
No, that's for a small one, 65, 75. It goes up to like 105 for my standards.
For your standards. I would have learned how
Yes,
to. I would have
that's
learned how to groom them. No, no, no. Nah, I
the
feel you though.
groomer is making a lot of money off of me for sure. Some of my
What?
friends that I know that breed, they have started to groom themselves, but I like for mine to do photo shoots. I allow people to book my dogs for like commercials, people booking for photo shoots, birthday parties, stuff like that. So I like for my dogs to look, a certain way. So I ain't about to be over here. Listen, I don't do my own hair, so I'm not finna try to be
Right.
cutting a dog.
Hey,
I
for
ain't finna
somebody
mess them up.
for somebody that's you've been breeding for a short amount of time, like it seems like you got a whole lot of stuff covered, like dogs and commercials and all type of stuff. Like, what made you like even think about stuff like
I'm always thinking.
that?
I'm always thinking just the different ways to get money. Listen, I like to buy stuff, so I need money. So I'm just always thinking of just different ways to make it more of a like a business. That's why I
Right.
got my website. I got my shirts. I don't know if you looked on my page. I have the unique way that I send them home. When I present them in the boxes, I just try to make everything look professional with my business cards. Just everything. Um,
Yeah. I
just
did see
anything
that.
I can think of dog wise.
I did see that BMW X6 that the dogs bought.
Oh, you went on my page,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, and
That's my
even
designer pup truck.
yeah, even then, I think because like I think I was reading the caption on that, and it was basically saying how the delivery when you deliver the dogs, you pulling up in that, and that how you
Yeah.
use your business and your business credit to obtain that. I think
Yes.
in not just I think across the board with all breeders, they forget that it's a business. A lot of them forget that it's a
Right.
business and that you can obtain things like that and use that to your advantage.
Right. Right.
So I thought
Um,
I think that was real
my
dope.
sister, yeah, my sister, her name is Amber Jones. The name of her business is Life Key Financial. She's based in Birmingham, Alabama. That's my baby sister. She does credit repair. She helps establish business credit. She does taxes, all of that. So having her, at my beck and call has helped a lot. I was going to get the truck like maybe a year before. I called, I was like, Amber, I'm finna go up here and get this Audi Q8. That's what I wanted first. And she was like, no, don't do it. You need to put it in your business name. But at the time, I had just established the LLC and all of that, maybe in 2020. And I hadn't started on business credit yet. So she was like, well, just listen to me. Trust me. Don't put it on your personal because I talked about getting another house as well. She was like, you don't want that debt on your personal credit. So she came down one day. We sat down for probably 30 minutes and, set up the foundation of getting my business credit started. Fast forward a year later, I went into BMW and After 5 minutes, they told me I could get whatever I wanted under Designer Pups Alabama. So that was a huge accomplishment for me. I'm glad I did listen to her, although I was mad. I cursed her out several times over that year just from getting frustrated because I wanted my truck. I ended up switching from the Audi to the BMW. BMW, actually, Audi, they were gonna approve me, but like maybe for like half of what I wanted. I walked into BMW and they told me I could get whatever I wanted after 5 minutes. So I'm a BMW supporter now. I will be going back in July to get my daughter her car for her 16th birthday on my business credit too. So
Shout out to little sis, the cheat code.
yes, yes.
Yeah,
Life Key Financial.
like key. What are some common misconceptions about golden doodles?
That they're all crazy and hyper. I see a lot of people online saying, "Oh, don't get a doodle. They're crazy. They're hyper." They are not. As you can see, this dog has been sitting here in my lap, not even moving the whole time. Like I said, a lot of it goes back to the temperament of the parents. You have to know you can't just go and get the cheapest dog. A lot of people be like, "Oh, I found one cheaper over there," and I'm sitting here thinking, "Oh, okay, let me see how that go in a year." In my mind, I don't say nothing.
Right.
Um, but yeah, a lot of it goes back to the temperament of the dog, the training of the dog, all of that. So all golden doodles are not hyper. My dogs are super chill. Actually, most of them lazy, to be honest. Oh, you got my hair all in your face.
I know we talked about colors. Do these dogs come in different coat types? Like, are some hair
Yes.
longer than others and stuff like that?
Yes, you can get like curly hair doodles, you can get wavy, you can get flat. I prefer curly. All of my dogs have curly. That's just my preference. So I know how I want my dogs to look. So those are the kind of dogs that I acquired. Those are the kind of dogs that I'm now producing. All curly. I like curly. Like they'll start out straight as puppies, but once they get old enough and get a haircut, they all have the tight curls, all the dogs that come from our program.
How old is
Actually,
that
one
pup?
day I was at this puppy, how old are you? She was born February the 9th, so just a couple months
Almost.
old.
Yep. About to be 3 months old.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna lay here and look at me.
Let's see. So you said you have standards. Do you have mediums like in between, or do you?
Yes, I do all sizes. My smallest dog is 5 pounds. That's an adult, and my largest is like 40. I stay within that range.
Wow. So all right. So since you got standards, mediums, and I want to ask, how many dogs do you
I have a few.
have?
I don't
all
answer that
right.
question to the public.
All breeders say the same thing. I have a few. I
I have
understand
a
that.
few. I don't
Um,
need nobody trying to pull up on me.
do you have any? Is there any? Do you face any challenges as a breeder with this breed, or just as a breeder in general? What challenges do you face?
Mm.
You got this thing in a bag. You ain't
The
got no
biggest
challenge.
challenge, one of the biggest challenges is finding a babysitter when I'm going out of town.
Ooh.
It's just like having a kid. I don't trust anybody around my dogs, that's not family and close friends, really family. I actually just called my mom before this interview and was like, "Hey, I need to go to Miami tonight. Can you come stay at my house?" So her and my dad, gonna drive an hour to come just stay at my house. My daughter's here. She's 15. She know how to do everything, so they don't have to do anything with the dogs. But I just have to have somebody I can trust here at all times. I can't just leave and say, "Oh, I'm gonna let this stranger come and look after my dogs." No, I don't play that. It's if it's not me, it's my mom, dad, sister, brother. Um, yeah, I don't leave my
Yeah.
dogs with just anybody. It's like having kids. That's my biggest challenge is just being
Right.
able to move around. My daughter play travel ball. Just being able to move around having dogs is a challenge. And
Right.
especially when, you have moms that are pregnant or new puppies, you got to sit down for a while.
Yep.
Ain't no vacation during those times for me.
Yeah.
So
I understand. Me and my wife, she always say, "You want to breed dogs, and I want to travel." So I definitely understand that.
right,
Um,
right.
a, a memorable, a memorable litter, a particular memorable litter. Do you remember like a litter that you was just like so proud of? Like, yeah, this it,
This one,
that one.
this litter right here. Yeah, because like I said, once I started playing around in DNA and understanding what the different codes meant as far as color and all of that, I had a vision for what I wanted to create. This was the first step of it. My next step is to make this in chocolate, and that's what I'm gonna do in my next breed. And I'm gonna use a chocolate tri stud to a Merle female to try to create a chocolate phantom like her. So that's what I plan on doing probably in the next 2 months. That's my next step. Yeah,
Um,
memorable litters. It's been this one, and I also had another one at the same time. It was an 8 piece as well, but I used my Merle stud and bred him to one of my black standards. Um, a lot of people frown upon black dogs. I don't. In my house, Chanel, which is my black standard poodle, she's one of my most beautiful dogs that I have. She has the best coat, excellent temperament, great structure, and she has rainbow DNA. So I knew that she carried cream, red, chocolate, party, which is pie for y'all. She carried all of those things. So when I put my Merle, well, one of my Merle studs, Cartier, with her, they produced a rainbow litter as well. So I was very proud of that litter and this litter right here.
okay, okay. Um, for anybody that's, I guess, doing their homework on this dog before they get them, does these dogs have any common health issues?
Mm, you can dealing with poodles, you can run into like blindness a lot. You can run into mainly that, but I haven't had any issues with stuff like that. I haven't had anything reported back to me. Like I said, I try to use clear dogs. If a dog isn't clear, I make sure it's only one copy carrying a specific thing, and I make sure I pair it with another clear dog if I do use that dog. So I haven't had anything reported back to me from any of my past buyers. I haven't experienced anything with my foundation dogs either. So I've been blessed in that area.
Um, I know you said Fendi was your first dog. When you bought Fendi,
Yes.
where did from wherever you got her from, did they put you up on game on DNA, or was that something that you had to do on your own?
They did not. They did not.
Okay. So what
I
made you
I kind
start?
of I kind of learned
That's what I'm about to ask. What made you start digging into DNA?
just from being on Instagram and meeting different people through Instagram. Some of my closest breeder friends I met through Instagram. Just from being on live and just listening to them talk about, the DNA with the Frenchies. I started paying more attention to the DNA with my dogs and learning, like I said, what would create puppies with tan points, what would create party puppies, full party puppies. You got to have two copies of party, just stuff like that. Just from paying attention on lives. I learned a lot just being on live. Just I would lay in the bed many nights just listening to other Frenchie breeders, bully breeders on live. That's how I learned. I didn't have like a direct mentor that I could pick up my phone and call to ask questions to. I learned most of what I know from being on live from breeders all across the world.
Mm. Can you describe what the day in the life of LaCory, the dog breeder? How does your typical day work when it comes to the dog?
Well, one thing that most people don't know is I'm a social service supervisor. I supervise a unit of social workers for the state of Alabama. That's what I do for my 9 to 5.
Okay.
So I get up, I let my dogs out to play early. Really, before my alarm go off, I get up and let them out. They barking like, "Let me out! I gotta pee." So I get up, I feed them, let them out. I'll probably lay back down, then get my daughter up, get myself dressed for work. Um, Put the dogs up, drop my daughter off at school, go to work, come home on my lunch break most times to check on the dogs, let them out. Go back to work, get off work, do the same thing. My daughter, she plays travel soccer, so she'll either A, stay after school or B, ride the bus home, just depending on what time she get home. I come home, let them out, or she'll let them out when she get here. And I pretty much just let them stay out until bedtime. So that's
Busy
a
day.
day in my life. Dogs, daughter, work, busy. I'm busy, busy. And in
Right.
between that, I'm still on lives. I'm a part of a dog breeding team called Dog Ties that consists of 14 other breeders across the world. We got people here, in the United States. We got one guy that's in the UK, one guy that's in China. We hop on calls almost every day, ask questions, just chop it up, because sometimes it's good to have people that you can ask questions to, that share the same interest in you as you, and might be a little more experienced, or something new that I'm going through. They may have already went through it, so it's able to be connected with those people, to be able to ask questions and just be around people with common interests in dogs. I'm
Right.
actually the only poodle doodle breeder on the team. Actually, they all breed Frenchies, bullies, stuff like that.
So
But it all ties in. We all learn from each other.
right, that you just beat me to two questions I was gonna ask. I was gonna ask. It
Yeah.
seemed like you take a lot of the stuff that you learn from other breeders, even though they're not breeding the same type of dogs. And I was
Yeah.
gonna ask, how do you stay up to date, like with the research and best practices? But I mean, dog tags. If you hopping on them phones every day, I'm sure everybody dropping gems and
Every
knowledge.
day.
Yeah. So
Yeah, every day, all day. So I complained at first. I was like, y'all gotta stop calling this, because when they call, it rings to my phone. I was like, y'all waking me up. Y'all calling at 6 in the morning, 8 in the morning. Because the one guy that's in China, he like 15 hours ahead of us. So
right,
people call and people in different time zones. So any time of day, I may go and click on Instagram and I can see, oh, they on a call, and I just join and I'll be like, hey, my puppy breathing funny, or what y'all think about this, or what you think about that. You can always reach somebody. Like if I got a question, I can pick up my phone, ring the group. Somebody out of the 15 gonna pick up. So that's a blessing to be able to have, connections to that as well.
most definitely. How do you handle the emotional aspects of letting the puppies go to their new homes? Because I know you get attached to them. I know I get attached to my puppies. So
It was hard at first. It's not hard anymore. It's not hard
facts.
anymore. It's like I told you. I do an application process. I've already, by the time they leave at 8 weeks, built a relationship with the family, so I'm comfortable with them leaving. And as a breeder, when they get around 6 weeks and completely weaned, and mama stop cleaning up after them, it can get rough having
Mhm.
multiple litters. I just had 4 litters at one time. It can get rough cleaning up after that many puppies. So Gotcha Day for me is a celebration at this point. I
I
know they're going on to, great families. So, it's never sad anymore. My daughter, she used to cry, but not anymore.
right. What are
And it's
your
payday for her. It's payday for her. So
right,
she
right,
looked forward to Gotcha Day. Because
right.
she would have just been me and her here. She is my biggest help. Some days before I can get out of the bed, she's already got up and let them out, fed them, So I make sure that I take care of her, so that, with her being 15, I want her to see, what we doing it for too. I don't want her to always think, oh, this is a chore that I'm not reaping the benefits of. My mom just keeping all the money. So out of each litter, I pay her the price of one puppy. Now I don't let her keep all of it. I make her put some of it up to save, but I let her have a good percentage of it just to do what she want with. So that's her job right now, is my
Yeah.
helper.
I have a 16-year-old son, and he definitely
Mm-hmm.
get in them kennels. I know he get tired of it. And, I give him something, but I ain't giving him a price. No, but so the net we
Well,
about
the amount that she's saving is going toward her car and college and all of that.
oh
And
yeah,
I
I
let her
definitely
keep.
understand.
I'll go ahead and tell you. I let her keep 500 in
Oh
her
yeah,
own on her own little debit card, but
yeah,
like the rest, that's going toward car, college, all of that. So
yeah, yeah. Our next little I'm just gonna actually get him a puppy because he wants to breed on his own. So I'm gonna just let him go
Hmm.
ahead and step out and try it. And
Okay.
he said I just talked when I was talking to him last week. He said I asked him did he want a female or a male. He said he wanted a male. He wanted to start with the stud first. So I
Okay.
think I said, well, go ahead. I'm gonna let you try it, man. The future. What did the future of designer pups of Alabama look like?
Whew. At this point, I don't even know. Um, I'm getting hit with new things every day. I don't know, just having my goal is to stay ahead of the wave. Because right now I feel like I'm ahead of the wave. So my goal right now is just stay ahead of the wave, and create healthy puppies and just do different things with them. I mentioned earlier, we already doing commercials, we already doing photo shoots. I just try to keep growing in every way that I can.
Any advice you can give an upcoming breeder?
My advice to an upcoming breeder is to make sure that you start with good foundation dogs from a breeder that's going to support you, help you, guide you. Um, I think it helps a lot to be able to have somebody that you can pick up the phone and call and get good genuine advice from, um, versus just trying to learn blind, kind of like how I did. My boyfriend, he breeds English bulldogs now. He got into breeding after we started dating. Got his first dog, and now he has multiple. He's doing his thing with the English bulldogs.
Okay, okay. Well, that's what's up. I know he's glad that he got you by his side because you've been in the game for what 3? What do you say? 3 years, 4 years,
Yeah, I've been
right?
in about three,
Right,
year and a half now. Yeah,
right.
so when me and him first started dating, he got into it, and like I said, he just had his first litter. He just had his page is all purpose underscore AP on Instagram.
Okay, okay. Well, we wrapping this up. If somebody want to get in contact with you, drop your Instagram and all your other information, and just let them know how they can get in contact with you.
Okay. My Instagram is Designer Pups of Alabama. Um, I'm on that all day, every day. I usually reply within a couple of hours, if not immediately. If you have questions and you need to reach me, I do have a business line. It is 256-808-7677, and my name is LaCory.
I really appreciate you getting on this. Well, not this evening. It's still early in the day.
Yeah, it's
So,
early.
yeah, I
It's
appreciate
like
you
one
hopping
thirty
on.
here now.
Yeah,
I
it's
appreciate y'all for
3 o'clock.
reaching out. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
yeah. No, I definitely had a good time. It was very informative, and I'm gonna definitely tell my dad like, "Hey, look, next doodle you get, I know where we gonna get it from." So,
Tell your
all right.
daddy to go ahead and hit me up. Go ahead and get a second one. Two is better than one. They
tell
they
your
love
tell your
having
daddy
they
that.
love having somebody to play
I,
with. Tell them to come get a
fact,
designer pup.
fact.